Hey everyone, we've got a 2018 Audi S5 in today. I'm going to give you a rundown on how to do the front brake pads and discs. Okay, so first step, obviously we've got the car on hoist, jacked up on axle stands, whatever you're using, you need to move the front wheels. Okay, so we've got the front wheel off. Get a container like this because we need to push the pistons back first to allow room for the new brake pads. The best way to actually do this is if we crack open the nipple, we're going to crack open this nipple, so this one we'll just do the outside, doesn't matter. These have got two nipples here, doesn't matter which one you do, but we're going to put the hose on there, open this, and then when that's open, we can now push back the pad with a screwdriver. We're replacing the discs anyway, so we don't need to worry about damaging the disc or the pads. And you can see this is actually pushing the fluid out. And the reason why we do this is we don't want to keep this system closed and have the fluid push back through to the reservoir because the ABS pumps have got one-way valves in them, and that is one way that you can actually mess up the ABS pump. And this way we're actually extracting the old fluid at the same time while we're doing a pad change, so it kills two birds with one stone. Okay, so the next step is removing the caliper. These have actually got a hard brake line, which you can see just at the top here. So hard brake line which goes to a mounting position here, and then a rubber hose. So the best way to actually do these is if we just remove this little tab here, so just get a screwdriver and we can pry that out. This allows us to take the hard line hose out of the bracket when we remove the brake caliper. Okay, so the next step after removing the brake line bracket is we just got to do the two caliper bolts here. You can do these, but these require a special tool to pull off separately. I just find it much easier to do these actual caliper brackets. They are a 21mm, use a 1/2 inch ratchet for this. They can be a little bit tight. Okay, so getting the two caliper bolts out, you can just put them to one side. Now what I find really useful is I've got a little caliper bracket here I made. This is just made out of some old brake pipe. You can pretty much use anything, but this just helps to hold the caliper out of the way. So we're just going to slide this off, and we're just going to make sure it comes out of its mounting bracket, the pipe. And then I can just run this through the bolt hole and hook it on the control arm like that. Now I can work on the caliper, everything's held nice and easily. Okay, caliper's off. Next step is removing the brake disc. You'll see that they've got this little locking screw on here that just helps align it. So that's a T30. You can just pop that off. That is the brake disc removed. Okay, so I always recommend once you've got the brake disc off, you need to clean up this surface to ensure that we've got a nice flat mounting position. I use what we call a whizzer here. You can use emery paper, sandpaper, whatever, but we're just going to just clean up that surface from any corrosion. We've already done this one pretty well, and around the hub as well, so you can just rub some sandpaper around there. That just ensures we don't have any rust spots there that makes the mounting of the new brake disc uneven. Okay, so this caliper's off. Now we just need to get the brake pads out. They're pretty easy. They will just slot out. Can be a little bit tight, but just give them a bit of a wiggle if you need. Just get a screwdriver in there because they are actually based on the little spring backing plate. The most important thing that you need to do when installing new brake pads is all these little points of metal to metal contact where the brake pad actually hits the mounting positions of the caliper, especially up here as well. We need to grease that with an actual brake grease, so one that's suitable for brake systems, and this will actually help stop the squeal. Applying this grease in the right area, so obviously we don't want to touch any of the pad material. We can't put any grease on that because that's going to be detrimental for the brake system and quite dangerous. But everywhere there's metal to metal contact, so obviously we've got the pistons on the back here, just want to put a bit of grease where those pistons are going to contact. So we're just using the Bendix brake grease here. I believe it is a ceramic based grease, but anything that's just suitable for brake systems you need. And then also where the pad actually contacts in the caliper for its mounting positions, just going to put a little bit around there. Don't have to go too heavy, a little bit does go a long way, but just making sure that there's no dry spots on the contact. Just like so. If you do get any grease on the surface, just clean it off with brake cleaner and a clean rag. Okay, so now on to our new brake rotor. We're actually doing a brake upgrade on this one. As with all parts, just make sure everything is the correct size so you can put it against the original rotor. Everything looks like it's the same, and also the depth of the hat as well. We've already cleaned the surface area of the hub, so we can go and place that on, and we use our locating screw to just help hold that in place. Okay, so rotor's on, new pads are in, it's time to get the caliper back on. So we're just going to unhook it. Now the bit is we just need to route that hard brake line around the back. And you can see it's just lining up in that bracket. And then we can put our caliper on like that. And then the two caliper bolts that we took out from the back, we can put them in place. Okay, so the caliper bolts are tight. We just got to get this little clip back in. So what I do is I push that in as much as I can by hand. And if you just get like any of a screwdriver or anything, you can actually pry that in like so. Give it a tap in place, and that's secure. The left side's pretty much exactly the same. We've just got a sensor to contend with, so I'll just quickly show you how you actually undo this sensor. It is in the brake line here, so you can take that out, free that. And if you come around this side, you'll see just under here there's a little tab, and you just need to bend that tab down so you can twist this sensor like so. There's a little ball on there which locks it into that bracket. Sometimes they can be a little bit stiff if they've been sitting a while, like so, and that sensor will come out of its bracket. And simply just a push tab, push it in. Sometimes they can be a little bit stiff, so just give them a little bit of help. I'll just pry the tab down there with the screwdriver, and you can pull it open. Okay, so now the brakes are completed. Just make sure that the disc is clean. We can't put any grease on that. So if it's not clean, clean it down with brake cleaner. Make sure everything is tight and torqued to manufacturer spec. We can go ahead and put the wheel on. Okay, so that's the brake pad change completed. The wheels are torqued. Everything's done. We just go in the car now. We pump the brake pedal to make sure that fluid and the pistons have pushed out and contacts in the pads and we need to check the brake fluid level as well. So the brake fluid level under here is just under this cover, and we just get a torch and you can actually see the side cover there. There is a min and max mark. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see on the camera, but just making sure that fluid level is topped up to that max mark, and we are all finished.